United States to support interim government of Bangladesh and strengthen ties with Dhaka over various issues. Re-investigation and fair trial into BDR carnage to be started soon, says Home Affairs advisor. Tomorrow is last day to submit suspended firearms and ammunitions to police stations. Joint operation to begin from 4th September to recover illegal arms. Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhary resigns. Bangladesh receives 222 crore US dollar remittance last month. Flood situation improves. Bangladesh Bank announces special facility to repay installments of agriculture and small loans for 3 months in flood-affected areas. Israeli aggression continues in Palestine. Death toll of Palestinians reaches nearly 41,000. And Bangladesh need 143 more runs tomorrow with 10 wickets intact against Pakistan to win the final test of 2-match series in Rawalpindi. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Tuliko Mulika Das, welcoming you all to News at 10. You have just heard the highlights. Moving on to the details. The United States would support the interim government of Bangladesh and strengthen ties with Dhaka in a range of issues. U.S. Charge d'Affaires in Dhaka Helen Lafavi said this when she paid a courtesy call on Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus at the State Guest House Jamuna in Dhaka today. The U.S. government was happy to congratulate the Chief Advisor and was looking forward to working closely together, the U.S. Charge d'Affaires said. She said the U.S. Embassy in Dhaka will resume its consular service in an effort to expedite visa processing this week. Helen said the U.S. would work closely in health, education, labor, governance and the Rohingya issues. Chief Advisor Professor Yunus thanked the U.S. for supporting Bangladesh, including its continued funding for more than 1 million Rohingya who live in the camps in Cox's Bazar. The Chief Advisor told her that the interim government was tasked with carrying out deep reforms and the general election would be held after a reasonable time. Professor Mohammad Yunus called for a combined effort and a common platform among the donors for flood response in Bangladesh. The Chief Advisor said every citizen in the country is protected by the Constitution and the interim government is committed to upholding the human rights of all citizens. United Nations High Commissioner for Refugee Filippo Grandi called Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus by phone to congratulate him on his assumption of the leadership of the interim government of Bangladesh today. During the call, the UNHCR chief praised the Chief Advisor, saying he has taken up an incredible task to rebuild Bangladesh. The two leaders discussed the Rohingya issue, including about thousands of people who have been displaced by the ongoing conflict in Myanmar's Rakhine state. Professor Mohammad Yunus sought his support for the dignified and voluntary return of more than 1 million Rohingya people who live in camps in Bangladesh to their homeland in Myanmar. Home Advisor Lieutenant General retired Muhammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhary said the re-investigation into the BDR killings and the process to ensure justice will begin soon. He came up with the development after a meeting with the Swiss ambassador to Bangladesh, Reto Rengli, at the Secretariat today. The advisor said the interim government is committed to ensuring rights of people, good governance and justice. That's why re-investigation into the BDR carnage will start soon to ensure justice. He went on saying that he wants justice for the BDR killings as a common citizen and a former member of Bangladesh Army, not an advisor to the government.
বর্তমান সরকার জনগণের অধিকার সুশাসন ও ন্যায় বিচার প্রতিষ্ঠায় বদ্ধপরিকর। শুধু স্বরাষ্ট্র উপদেষ্টা হিসাবে নয়, একজন সাধারণ নাগরিক ও সেনাবাহিনীর প্রাক্তন সদস্য হিসেবে আমি বিডিআর হত্যাকাণ্ডের ন্যায় বিচার চাই। সঠিকভাবে এই হত্যাকাণ্ডের পূর্ণ তদন্ত ও ন্যায় বিচার প্রক্রিয়া শীঘ্রই শুরু করা হবে।
Earlier, during the meeting with the Switzerland's ambassador, Reto Rengli, the advisor discussed different issues including resisting human trafficking, agriculture, rehabilitation and insurance, reconstruction and reformation of the police force, tackling of money laundering and corruption. Later, Pakistan's High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Syed Ahmed Maruf, paid a courtesy call on Home Affairs Advisor, retired Lieutenant General Mohammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhry. They discussed various bilateral issues, including visa facilitation between the two countries, starting direct flights and providing assistance for flood rehabilitation and agricultural research. As the advisor informed the recent flood situation, the High Commissioner assured to provide equipments for flood-affected people in Bangladesh. Meanwhile, Indian High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Pranay Verma, paid a courtesy call upon Home Affairs Advisor, retired Lieutenant General Mohammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhry in the Secretariat. They discussed various bilateral issues between the two countries, including border security, ensuring security of Indian citizens, flood rehabilitation, exchanging information of flood warning and forecast. Foreign Affairs Advisor Mohammad Tawhid Hussain said Bangladesh has no enmity with none of India and Pakistan. Bangladesh wants to maintain friendly relationship with all, he added. The advisor made the comments while briefing to journalists at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs today. The Foreign Affairs Advisor also talked about the role of Indian media over the mass uprising in Bangladesh.
ভারতীয় মিডিয়াতে যেটা হয়েছে এটা একটা একেবারেই মিথ্যার বেশাতি। আমরা জানি সেটা যে বাড়াবাড়ি রকম অবশ্যই এখানে বিপ্লব সাধিত হওয়ার পরে কেওস কিছু থাকে, যে কোনো দেশে যদি বিপ্লব, এখানে একটা বিপ্লব হয়েছে, এটাকে মেনে নিতে হবে। কিছু কেওস ছিল, সেখানে কিছু দুর্ঘটনাও ঘটে থাকতে পারে, কিন্তু সেটা নিয়ে ভারতীয় মিডিয়া যেভাবে লেগে পড়েছিল সেটা বিশ্ব মিডিয়া যারা একটু সাবস্ট্যান্টিভ এবং নিরপেক্ষ সংবাদ পরিবেশন করে তারা কেউ কিন্তু ভারতীয় লাইনটাকে গ্রহণ করেনি। পশ্চিমের দেশগুলোর সাথে সম্পর্কের এক ধরনের টানাপোড়েন চলছিল, এটা স্বীকার করে নেওয়া ভালো। এবং যেসব পয়েন্টে, যেসব ইস্যুতে এই টানাপোড়েনটা চলছিল সেগুলি কিন্তু এই সরকারের যে এজেন্ডা আছে বা এই যে ছাত্র জনতার যে এজেন্ডা এসেছে তার সাথে কিন্তু সঙ্গতিপূর্ণ। কাজেই এখানে আমি কোনো কনফ্লিক্টের সুযোগ দেখি না এবং এমন কোনো ক্ষত সৃষ্টি হওয়ার কথা না যেটাকে মেরামত করতে হবে। একইভাবে কোনো এক কারণে হয়তো পাকিস্তানের সাথে সম্পর্ক একটু টানাপোড়েন ছিল, সেটা স্বাভাবিক একটা সম্পর্কে যদি উন্নীত হয় সেটা আমাদের সবার খুশি হওয়া উচিত। আমরা তো সবার সাথেই বন্ধুত্ব চাই। আর ভারতের সাথে আমাদের সম্পর্কে যদি আপনারা মনে করেন যে আসলে একটু টানাপোড়েন চলছে, সেটা দ্বিপাক্ষিকভাবে আমাদের চেষ্টা করতে হবে সেটাকে ইভেন কিনে নিয়ে আসা।
A joint operation will be conducted from September 4th to recover all illegal firearms and ammunition. The Public Security Division of the Home Ministry said this. Teams will be formed comprising Armed Forces, BGB, Coast Guard, Police, RAB and ANSAR in this regard. District magistrates will hold core committee meetings comprising police supers, representatives of the armed forces, intelligence agencies and other concerned. The meetings will review the list of the withheld licenses of the firearms. In metropolitan cities, police commissioners will conduct arms recovery drives. According to the circular on the Home Ministry on August 25th, all licenses of firearms issued between January 6th in 2009 and August 24th in 2024 have been withheld. These firearms have to be deposited by tomorrow. Newly appointed ambassador of the Maldives, Shunan Rashid, presented her credentials to President Mohammad Shahabuddin at Bongo Bhavan this morning. On arrival at Bongo Bhavan, the new envoy was given guard of honor by a contingent of President Guard Regiment. Welcoming the new ambassador of Maldives, President Mohammed Shahabuddin said that Maldives is a tested friend of Bangladesh. He expressed hope that the existing excellent bilateral relations between the two countries would be strengthened and the trade ties would also be increased in the days to come. The president advised the new envoy to encourage Maldivian businessmen to increase the import of world standard products from Bangladesh, mentioning that Bangladesh and Maldives support and cooperate with each other in various regional and international forums, including SAARC and OIC. President Mohammed Shahabuddin hoped that this trend would continue in the future. At a briefing, President's Press Secretary Mohammed Joinal Abidin said that during the meeting, the new ambassador said the Maldives attaches high importance to its relation with Bangladesh. He sought the President's cooperation in discharging her duties. President's Office Secretary Nasimul Goni and Military Secretary Major General Muhammad Adil Chaudhary were present. Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhary has resigned from her post. The President has accepted the resignation letter of Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhary from the post of Speaker sent to the President, said a Gazette notification. Bangladesh received 222 crore US dollars of remittance in August, which is 39% higher than that of last year's August. Bangladesh Bank released the information yesterday. In July, the country received approximately 191 crore US dollars, which was the lowest in the previous 10 months. The inflow of remittance got momentum after the interim government led by Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus assumed power. Checks of 8 crore 15 lakh 80,000 and 149 taka were received as donation from various organizations, individuals and associations to help the flood victims today. Disaster Management and Relief Advisor Faruqi Azam Bir Pratik received the checks of the donations on behalf of the Chief Advisor at his office of the Ministry of Disaster Management and Relief. The donations include Modhumati Bank 59 lakh 50,000 153 taka, Asian Regency 3,92,683 taka, Panna Battery Limited 25 lakh taka, Novel Hurricane Knit Garments 20 lakh taka, Shahjalal Islami Bank PLC 1 crore 50 lakh taka, Infrastructure Development Company Limited 15 lakh 33,714 taka, Pubali Bank PLC 5 crore taka, Sylhet Agricultural University 8 lakh 62,474 taka, Action Aid 10 lakh taka, MEP Group 10 lakh taka, Child Foundation 1 lakh 50,000 taka, Nikki Thai Aluminium 3 lakh 32,365 taka, Honda Textile Limited 2 lakh 21,772 taka, Financial Express 1 lakh 36,988 taka and Kahana Nazil 5 lakh taka. The advisor thanked individuals and organizations for standing beside the flood victims. Although the flood water in Noakhali, Peni, Lakshmipur, Kumilla and Molavi Bazar has gradually receded, the suffering of the waterlogged people has not reduced yet. As the water recedes, the damages become visible. Various waterborne diseases have appeared in shelters and flood-affected areas. Government, private and personal initiatives continue to provide relief to flood victims in the flood-hit areas. In Kumilla, the flood situation has improved in the district. However, around 11 lakh people are still stranded by flood water in Kumilla. In Lakshmipur, flood water receded in the district. The number of snake biting is increasing in the low-lying areas. Snakes biting 112 people in the past 12 days in Lakshmipur. In Noakhali, the number of diarrhea patients has increased in the district while the flood situation has improved. 354 people have been admitted to hospitals with diarrhea. A total of 11 people were killed by the flood in Noakhali. In Peni, the flood situation is improving in the district slowly. The suffering of the people is also increasing in the flood-hit areas under Peni. In Molavi Bazar, the flood situation has improved in the district. Affected people want a permanent solution to preventing floods. Bangladesh Bank has announced a special facility for flood-affected farmers and CMSME and entrepreneurs to repay the loan installments. In this case, August installments of short-term agriculture and CMSME sector term loans in these areas can be repaid over 3 months. The central bank issued a circular in this regard yesterday. It's set to ease the repayment or adjustment of existing unclassified non-compensatory short-term agriculture and CMSME loans as of July 1st of other flood-affected areas including Peni, Noakhali, Lakshmipur, Kumilla and Chattogram identified by the Ministry of Disaster Management and Relief. Short-term agriculture and CMSME sector term borrowers can repay the loan installments for August to October within 3 months of the expiry of the respective loan period. No penalty interest, additional interest, excess profit, late fee penalty by whatever name called other than regular interest shall be levied or levied on late payment. This directive will be effective immediately. Students of the anti-discrimination movement are collecting mass relief today at TSC and the central field of Dhaka University for the flood victims of the Southeast region. People from all walks of life have been donating relief spontaneously to help the flood-affected people. However, students do not receive dry food and clothes in the mass relief campaign. From today, students of the anti-discrimination movement called upon the people to donate cash, lentils, medicines, oil, spices, child food and sanitary napkins. Moving on to the international news.